So stressful situations happen all the time. You've probably looked back at the last few and wished that you had handled them differently. But here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you 5 tips to live a stress-free life because that's not what you need. What's going to help you more is developing a mental skill I like to call the safe place in the mind. Now, while it won't stop stressful situations from happening to you, it will help you navigate them better. I know this works because it's got me through a fair share of stressful moments in my own life. And because I wish someone had taught me this earlier, I'm going to put it out there for you in case you need it. I call it the safe place in the mind because it's exactly what it is. You design a place in your imagination that you can go to when your environment is anxiety-inducing. All of us have learned that life throws curveballs unexpectedly at moments we feel the least prepared for them. And while we cannot avoid these, we can develop a better response for when they do happen. The last time I had to use a safe place in the mind, I was running late getting to the airport while traveling to one of my closest friends' weddings. I was the best man and needed to be there for the next day, so I was cutting it really close. My flight was leaving in an hour, and when I reached the airport, the line for security had been backed up all the way across the airport. I'm not just talking about in the security area. I'm talking about backed up all the way out of that area and across the entire airport. Clearly, there was some sort of staffing or system issue that day. As I stood in this extremely slow-moving line, I was filled with dread. I was about to miss the flight and potentially the wedding. As the clock ticked down, the line slowly inched forward until there was only 10 minutes left for me to make my flight. I tried asking the staff to let me go on ahead, but they wouldn't budge. The people ahead of me were moving so excruciatingly slow that I was sure I'd get to the gate only to watch the plane leave. The stress that had built up in me was overwhelming, and I could feel my body struggling to function. In those final minutes, I knew that being stressed wasn't going to help me function. If I was going to make my flight, I needed to be moving efficiently and as fast as I could. So I slowed down my thoughts and breathing and went to the safe place in my mind. I imagined myself on a rock in the middle of expansive water. The water is a bit turbulent, but on the rock, I'm safe and secure. There's a bit of light over my head that's illuminating me, and in this place, I remind myself that I'm okay. Around me, the stress of the situation still exists. The line is barely moving, the people are loading their items through the scanners leisurely, but within me, there's calm. On that rock, I am calm. I can't quite remember where I learned how to do this, but it's become one of my use in case of emergency tactics. It is a place of faith because no matter how strong we become in life, we all need a rock to sit on. I'm not suggesting that this works for everyone. You might develop a different scenario in your own imagination, and you should, but the key is to train yourself to use it. It works because it helps you focus again and reduces the impact of worrying thoughts. It takes your eyes off of the waves and places it back onto what is truly secure and solid. When I was in Okinawa snorkeling in what they call winter, which is still relatively warm to us, I jumped into the water and my body went into that initial shock from the cold water. I just recovered from being sick and my lungs felt like they had prickly needles all over the inside. Our guide noticed and immediately told me to breathe in a calm voice, guiding me to mirror her calmness. She was correctly helping me focus on what I needed to do to help me acclimate to the water. I think what I'm learning is that you can train this response, but we're not usually thinking about it as something we have to develop. We can easily understand how physical fitness is achieved by progressive overload, lifting heavier over time, but because it's invisible, we don't talk that often about training the mind. Now, I'm not a monk, nor do I have any desire to become one. I'm just a regular guy in this regular world. Practicing this in situations with less stakes will give you a better ability to use it in high-stakes situations. One caveat I do have to make, though, is that I try not to use this too much unless the need is severe. There are other ways of dealing with stressors. For example, if a bear starts charging you in the woods, I would not recommend using this tool. I'd recommend running. Some situations are dire, others just feel that way. In any case, having this tool available is valuable, and training yourself to have a safe place in your mind will set you up for better responses when life throws its next stressful curveball at you. I know that you'll be able to navigate through that by finding the calm you need and focus.
We can be people that react to things, or we can be people that respond to things. And while it's not always possible to respond well, I think being prepared for it sets you up for a much better outcome than being completely caught unaware and unprepared.
If you found this video helpful, please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'm posting daily until I reach the end of my 75-part journey, and I'm getting close to the end.